Welcome to the most incredible marketing show ever. The show where each week a panel of respected marketing strategists, all trained and certified by the legendary Dan Kennedy, share their wisdom, experience, strategies, and insights on how to use Dan Kennedy's philosophy on business and marketing in any type of business, and that you can apply to your business immediately. Here's your host, Craig Valine.
Hello, everybody. This is Craig Valine. Welcome to the most incredible marketing show ever. I'm with my guest panel of Dan Kennedy certified independent business advisors and experts and great entrepreneurs in your own right. Say hello, everybody.
Hey, how you doing?
Today, we're going to address some headlines in the news. I'm going to read them to you, and then we're going to talk about as many as we can. In the news, according to TechCrunch, Chipotle tests subscription service before burritos. Chipotle, the popular fast casual Mexican restaurant chain, is piloting a subscription service in select markets. This innovative approach allows customers to prepay for a set number of burritos per month, potentially increasing customer loyalty and offering a predictable revenue stream for Chipotle. All right. Next one is warranty periods get longer for appliances. Manufacturers are starting to offer longer warranty periods on appliances, sometimes reaching up to 10 years. This is according to NPR. This could be a strategic move to differentiate themselves in a competitive market and build trust in consumers who are looking for long-lasting products. And the last one for today is bye-bye bots, hello humans. Some companies are starting to move away from the chatbots for customer service and prioritizing interactions with human representatives. And that's according to Forbes. This could be in response to customer frustration with impersonal chatbots and the desire for more nuanced interactions. So those are interesting. So let's talk about first Chipotle and subscription. You know, Dan is, I don't know if Dan is quoted as saying, but I remember hearing it, Dan Kennedy, if you don't have continuity income, you don't in your business, you don't have a business. So Dan, let's talk about that. That's kind of strange for a restaurant. We don't see it very often, although we have seen it. What are, number one, the importance of continuity income, and what's your opinion, your experience in a business that is kind of odd to see it in?
Yeah, so first I want to mention, and this is going to date me a little bit, but I was back at the very first Info Summit where Dan first began talking about continuity, okay? And I almost jumped out of my seat. I was like, wow, that's it. That's the answer. So it's been around for a while, okay? And so I'll share an example with you in an industry that a lot of people aren't familiar with it. I used it. I have a hard time getting others in the industry to do it, and that's the auto repair industry. So I began doing it in the auto repair industry a number of years ago. We started what we called a VIP program. And you signed up for the VIP program, and you could pick how much you wanted to pay each month. Okay? And so say you wanted to pay $50, and we would hit your credit card at the beginning of the month for $50 every month. And we would basically put it in a bank for you, on an account. Some did 100, some did 150. I don't remember exactly what the numbers were. I had some that said, hey, could I do more? And the people that got involved with it absolutely loved it. Okay. And so it gave us a chance to help them with their budget. Okay. Balance it out, a monthly payment so that they didn't get hit with a real big one. And the other thing was it gave us a chance to be a hero. Nothing worse than like December 20th and something goes wrong with your car and you take it in and the guy says it's going to be $872. And we used to always hear, this couldn't come at a worse time, Christmas, blah, 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 right? Well, with this program, if you were on this program, that call may sound like this. Well, Craig, it's going to be $872, but you've got $550 in your account from your VIP program, so you're only going to owe us X number of dollars. And they would come in, oh my God, thank you. I can live with that. Thank you so much. And it got to be such a popular thing with us. Our customers were trying to figure out why we were doing that. I had one come up to me and whisper in my ear, "Are you guys okay financially? Why would you do this?" You know, but, and here's the thing, I've tried to teach this across the industry. I can't get people on board with it. I mean, there's less than a handful of clients across the country that I've introduced it to that are willing to get on board with it. And it's a great program when the economy's tough, especially when it's a good time. And I don't know if you remember years ago, the utility companies used to do this. You pay so much every month so that in the wintertime, you didn't get hit with a big heating bill, or in the summertime, a big AC bill. And so it smoothed it out. You know, it might be $80 a month instead of 1 month, it's $400.
We're doing that right now, actually, because of economics. We'll just call it, not labeling it, but our electricity bill was, or a heat bill was like outrageous. It was like $700.
Yeah.
And then we found out a program that the heating company or the gas company has that is little known, that you can pay a regular standard rate every month and it balances out over the year. Right.
Yeah.
So you might pay a little bit more at the end of the year or a little bit less, but you pay that regular amount. It all works out. We haven't had to pay any big, huge chunk of money because of it. So
that was the idea behind the VIP program. So, and what do you see now? You see all these programs, these car, it breaks, car shield, those kind of things. Right. I was doing this 15 years ago. Okay. It wasn't meant as a warranty program, but it was meant like your utility business. Make it easier on you.
One thing that that may be said by these two other gentlemen, but I'll say it first, is that if you are making have a VIP program at a auto repair place, when your car breaks down, where are you going to go? So well, and that's the other thing, it reduced price resistance. Right. Okay. They weren't trying to say to us, "Oh, is there anything we can do to get that done cheaper? Can we get a cheaper part," or anything like that. They were just thrilled to hear that they only owed like $200 instead of $800. Yeah, that's crazy. That's a great example. Great example. Awesome. Steve, what's your thought about Chipotle doing subscription burrito service? And
well, they're late to the game, as Dan points out. Continuity's been around forever, and that example Dan's giving, not exactly continuity, more like a layaway program, but. Chipotle might be a Dan Kennedy fan, because Dan's been talking about his client Diana Cotu for decades with her pizza place somewhere, Canada, I think, somewhere. Yeah, Canada. He always talks about a pizza place doing it where people pay different tiers, I guess, but they can, automatically have their credit card hit for $50 a month, and that entitles them to X number of pizzas and crazy bread and drinks and whatever, and they can spend more, they can spend less, not come in at all. But that pizza place on the first of every month is getting their entire monthly overhead covered for the whole month. So if you're not doing it in your business, you got to figure out how to do it. Contact one of us, contact somebody else, contact Chipotle, contact somebody. I think it's very fitting for the restaurant industry. Craig, you would know, maybe the guys here would know, but I think it was Ryan Lee that years ago had something called the continuity napkin.
Yes, that was Ryan Dice, continuity napkin. Yep.
All right, so there you go. He wrote out continuity on a napkin, so it's very fitting that Chipotle, a restaurant, is finally understanding they got a lot of napkins. They're using continuity. Every business needs to be using it. Otherwise, like Craig just said, you don't have a business. You're starting off from zero every month, and especially in a tough economy that we've been in for years with no end in sight. That's a rough place to be. Wouldn't you rather have all your bills paid on the first of the month, relax, and then have fun the whole rest of the month doing all the advertising, marketing, sales you can do? It's all a bonus. That's the way to run a business.
Yeah, and as I understood it from the example that we heard so many years ago, and probably much more now, but Diane Cotu, she starts like every month with $6,000 in the bank, right, on the first.
I'm pretty sure that's
probably much more now, but geez Louise. Amen.
Well, sign me up for the guac level, if they have different levels of the Chipotle subscription.
The guac level, the nacho
the guac
cheese level, the
they have a
jalapeno
lot of
pepper.
opportunities because they do have raving fans, because people will go to Chipotle, across town instead of some of their competitors. But it also is known as sort of being a little bit of a, as premium as you can get in burritos, maybe. I mean, it's a sliding scale. But if you can start getting people doing the math differently in their head, as we've mentioned, it's like, oh, that money's already been like spent, or like my per burrito cost is now lower. So if I'm comparing, well, it's actually, I can go to Chipotle because I've already spent X dollars, and my per burrito cost this month is actually going to be lower than this competitor, and I like Chipotle anyway. So it's a great opportunity just to get people, like, if the money's already been spent, then you're more likely to think of it as free. So it's really turning on its head the idea of like the cost per burrito, if you can just get them to commit. And I think a lot of these places too, they'll start with maybe the lower price, like free trial, which is another aspect of just getting people to either metaphorically or literally take a bite of your product or service that you're offering. And so once you can just get them past that initial action with you, whether it's signing up and getting something free, or whether with the Chipotle it's heavily discounted in the beginning. Once you get someone's credit card and they're used to that charge coming out, it feels like a sunk cost, and they're more likely to stick with it.
Yeah, pretty good.
Got to throw one last thing in based on what Ben just said. That's exactly right, is the psychology of it. Dan Kennedy had his inner circle, or his Glazer Kennedy insider circle, or now it's magnetic marketing, whatever you want to call it. We were all members of that. And now you got the Gold Crown membership, right? So there's a feeling of being a member, as Ben says, psychologically completely different than being a customer, a transactional customer. So that when it comes to lunch and you're looking around the office, where are we going for lunch today? Someone says, well, I'm a member over here. So naturally, that's where we're going. And so that you want to lock your people into that psychology of being a member, part of a tribe, part of your herd, part of your business, instead of making a decision every single time, which means you could lose them every single time. Dan always talks about also, one little thing happens to a transactional customer, one fly crawls across the table, somebody might storm out and never come back to that restaurant. Someone who's a member forgives the little things and goes, it's just one little fly. I've been coming in for years. We love this place. It's great. Because they want to justify in their minds, I'm a member. I'm paying this place every time. A member attitude is a lot different. And if you don't think so, go watch the movie Caddyshack, and you'll see the Ted Knight character, the member of Bushwood, versus Rodney Dangerfield, the stranger. How dare you come in here and mess things up? We are members. We take pride. You want that in your customers. You want to make them members. Continuity is the answer.
Well, and Steve just reminded me of something with our VIP program. We took that membership thing to the next level. So, most of our clients made appointments when they came in. And so when a VIP customer made an appointment, we had a dry erase board up on the wall, and we would say, welcome to our VIP members, and put their name down there. And when they come in, their chest would kind of go out. They'd see that. They'd feel good. The other thing that it did was the people who weren't members started asking, hey, what is that? And why aren't I a member? Or what do I have to do? Because like Steve said, this membership thing, people feel like they're missing out, and they would rather be members than customers. And so we did that a lot. The other thing that we would do is every now and then we would send out a gift for our VIP members. And we would send an email, say, hey, make sure when you stop in, you get your gift. Well, here was the mistake that we made. We sent that email out to everybody.
Right.
Everybody got that. And then afterwards, we would send an oops email out. We're sorry. That wasn't meant for you. That was meant for our VIP members. But it often generated that conversation of, hey, wait a minute. what's this VIP membership thing?
I was going to say,
And
that's not a mistake. That you definitely want to send that out to
that
everyone.
was a strategic mistake.
Yes, indeed. Well, I mean, at the Super Conference and at the Info Summit, they, Dan and Bill were excellent at that, having the gold, the gold members area, or was it diamond or gold member? But either
Diamond.
way, but having
Diamond,
the
yeah.
strategic lounge,
Gold
and then
plus.
having the photos with the keynote speaker. I mean, we have had previous episodes where we've talked about the power of using celebrity in your marketing, so that everybody, I know they had a big uptick in that before the actual event, because they would mention it. Here's what's going to be happening at that event. But during the event, they also had an uptick in upsells to those programs as well, because they wanted to be part of. They wanted
Yep.
those benefits. And, it was always that jump from, what was it? I forget what the price difference was during the Bill Glazer administration, but it was like $60 for the regular membership and what, 200, 199 or something like that for the diamond membership.
Yeah,
And I always thought
249 something.
I thought, in my early days, I thought that was too much. But then it was easy. It was easy and it was worth it. Especially during the networking session the night before, and then the private cocktail time with Dan and Bill and all that stuff. So, yeah. So pretty cool.
This episode of The Most Incredible Marketing Show Ever is sponsored by Dan Cricks, a.k.a. the Been There, Done That Marketing Coach, and Results Marketing. If you're looking for help growing your business and your profits, to get more information and free small business marketing and money-making info, go to www.greatresultsmarketing.com. That's www.greatresultsmarketing.com.
So yeah, along those lines, in your business, whatever it is, think about other relevant things you could add that people would love, and they'll happily become a member. Then they'll happily upgrade their membership. And every time you have more security, you have a business.
Can I just add one thing? Steve said earlier about find a way to do this in your business. And here's what I found, and back to Steve's point, sometimes business owners have a hard time seeing past certain things, or they're so used to. Get help. Like Steve said, give one of us a call, check with us. You can go and find our contact information. And sometimes it takes an outsider like us to say, hey, here's a great place. And they go, oh, I never thought of that. Right. And sometimes it's good to have another set of eyes to look at your business to find something where you could have continuity. I've done it dozens of times with clients, and they were blown away.
Yep, I dare you to bring me a business that I cannot add continuity into.
Well, we have a few minutes left on this particular topic. So what is the most unique business that you've worked with that you've implemented this into it, or you've seen?
Funeral.
Funeral?
Funeral.
You know what? We did that workshop at Super Conference, I think, or the Info Summit with Bill. Do you remember that?
Yep.
Yes.
That group exercise. So can you describe that?
Well, years ago, I was part of a chamber, and the funeral home was a chamber member, and this guy was very creative. He used to sponsor a lot of things at the senior centers, dances and different things, and he had a presence there all the time. And he rolled out a program where they could spend so much a month, because a lot of seniors are worried about leaving that on their family. Okay. Right. And so they could get the things that they wanted. And then what ended up happening with them is they would always tell their family, this is where you're taking me. You're taking me there. And he would do a little membership thing so that every time they had a senior event, those members would get something. Okay. And then their membership went towards their funeral expenses. But he had a tremendous amount of success. That town he was in, it was 30, 40,000 people. He had 80% of the funeral business.
Wow. How about you, Steve or Ben?
Well, I've done it with just about every single client I have. So I don't know about unique, but a lot of fun ones. I had a motorcycle shop, did all kinds of things to add in continuity. Had an auto repair shop, you mentioned, another one. He had different membership clubs. He had a women's group. He had a veterans group. He had a students group because there was a college nearby. So they were all paying monthly towards their year's worth of oil changes and tire rotations and brake checks and whatever it all was. But they also got workshops. So there was a student workshop on how to save money and do some of the repairs yourself. There was a women's workshop on how to change your own oil or your own flat tire so you don't seem like a damsel in distress. So you don't get looked down at by your husband or whatever. There was a veterans group, so free oil changes on Veterans Day or this or that or whatever. So you can add in multiple clubs to any business. Again, I challenge anyone to come up with a business that we can't add continuity into.
Yeah. Ben, and I'll get to you in a moment, but one thing you just said was, they had the continuity income, but they also had workshops, seminars, other things. Just because you're charging a monthly recurring revenue in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a VIP program, does not mean you cannot, have other offerings along the way. People have this belief, and I've bumped up against it with some of my clients, is that, well, I'm already charging them that, so I can't charge them for this. I can't offer this, which is bogus. It's a silly idea.
Well, we mentioned Dan Kennedy's partner, Bill Glazer, had his menswear store, and he famously always used to tell us he had member, non-member pricing. So every price tag and every item in the store had member, non-member. And he said the non-members would come in and the suit is, $800, member price $200. Right. Well, then, of course, everyone asked, how do I become a member? Right. And he would say even businessmen that were traveling in and forgot a tie and came in from out of town would become a member, because at the register, he had all his clerks trained. If you just paid $97 right now for an annual membership, you would save more than that on this purchase.
Right.
And then he could mail them, hey, I will ship stuff to you all over the country. I mean, he made a ton of money by converting people from a one-time transactional customer into a member. Anybody can do it.
Right. That's awesome. Ben, close us out with an example.
Yeah, and this example probably on the surface doesn't seem like it's that unusual because it's been so pervasive, but I feel like more and more, even just charging people an ongoing subscription to access information is becoming, something that people think, oh, we can't do that because it's just all the information is out there, or AI is going to spit it back to me or whatever. But to have the information curated and also to have some sort of celebrity and personal branding behind it, people really want that connection. They want to be on the in group, like we mentioned with one example of like Chipotle. And so I feel like people can start talking themselves out of recurring revenue options that have been historically valid. So I think really taking a look and being open to finding the way that you are bringing that your own spin on it, your own curation of the information, and building a community around it can really make that into a viable business.
Very good. You know what? We're out of time, guys. But I do want to say to the listener or the viewer is that if you need help figuring out how to apply monthly recurring revenue in your business, a subscription service, or anything that generates monthly revenue, talk to any one of these guys. Me, Dan, Steve, Ben, or any of the panel of experts that are on our regular episodes. We're here to help, and we can help. So that's it. What a great show. You know what? We're going to cover those other topics in other episodes, but this was worthy of a full day seminar if we if we wanted to do it. So listen, we meet every Thursday, and we offer a gift for all our listeners and watchers, a free gift pack for fans from our panelists at mostincrediblemarshow.com. You can find previous episodes on YouTube at Most Incredible Marketing Show. Stand by for more great episodes to come. We're getting better every time we shoot. So I want to say thank you for watching and listening. Goodbye.
Thank you for joining us this week on The Most Incredible Marketing Show Ever. New episodes are available every week on Thursdays. To receive a free gift pack from our expert panelists and get access to show notes from previous episodes, be sure to visit our website, www.mostincrediblemarketingshowever.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button and click the bell up in the right-hand corner to be notified of future episodes so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate you clicking the like button and leaving a comment on what big aha you got during the show. That's it for today's episode. See you next week.